Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? God, it feels weird to be vlogging. I'm back. I'm back. So I have a lot to update you guys on. And I'm kind of like in my head trying to think about how I want to go about this vlog. I want to tell you guys obviously what's happened the last couple days and give you an update about the doctor's appointments and what the doctors have said, and I want to talk to you guys about all that kind of stuff, what I've been doing when I haven't been dealing with that. It's starting to get windy again. I really wanted to film outside today, but it's been really super windy all day long, and so I thought I was going to have to film inside. In fact, I had a clarity candle sitting next to the computer to film inside, and had my water in there, and I came outside for a second, and I was like, oh, the wind seems to be dying down a little bit, so I was like, you know what, this is the most comfortable chair for me, so I'm gonna come outside and vlog. So if the wind is horrible, I apologize, but this is kind of my happy place for the moment. So alright, but so I want to give you guys an update on all that, and then I kind of want to tell you my plans going forward for the next like week or so. But let's just get into it. I'm not going to make you guys wait. I know the most asked question is, have you passed a kidney stone? I have not passed a kidney stone. And they have not gone in to retrieve the kidney stone. And I will explain all of that to you guys today. I've gone to the emergency room twice. I have seen so many doctors at this point. I will say this. Usually on these vlogs, I say, you know, like, if it's a medical issue, I'll say, you know, please don't speculate a lot, or, you know, I know it's really helpful, but you guys will always be like, oh, try this, or try that, or try this, and then I'm in my head, and I have, you know, 400 questions for the doctor, and I'm Google searching, does this work for a kidney stone, does that work for a kidney stone? I don't really care, to be honest with you, at this point. What you speculate, what you suggest, it might be helpful, I don't know. What questions you guys have listed. I'm kind of, at this point, I came out of the doctor's appointment this morning, and I just was like, I told Alex, I said, I'm just done. I'm done at this point until further notice. Like, I'm worn out. I am, like, really, really worn out from this whole process. And it's nobody's fault. I mean, it's not the doctor's fault. It's not my fault. It's just a health issue. I will say this, you know, and I said this with the pancreatitis, and I'll say again for this. For those people out there that deal with chronic illness every single day of your life, I have no idea how you deal with it. I have no idea the communication with the medical professionals, and, you know, which I will just say this, all of them have been absolutely fantastic that I've dealt with, but I really feel for you guys that have chronic illnesses and deal with this every day of your life. I also want to say, well, first of all, to end what I was saying before, leave whatever comment, leave whatever suggestion, question, help, whatever, I don't care. I'm kind of at this point, it's just like, I'm so over it at this point, I can't even explain it to you. And one of the reasons why, my plan was to honestly not come back till Monday and film anything. But I'm having periods through the day where I feel okay, like 2 or 3 hours, where I'm like, I probably could get on at least and film a vlog. I just filmed my Sister Wives video before this because I'm feeling okay right now. It usually hits me, I would say, like mid to late evening, and then late at night is really, really horrible for me. Yesterday, mid-afternoon, it kind of hurt a little bit, but I'll tell you guys all of it. But anyway, so I'm kind of, you know, I was like, my plan was just take off until Monday, and I was hoping that maybe I'll pass the stone by Monday. I don't know. God willing, and the creek don't rise is how they say it, right? God willing, I pass the stone. I don't know, like, you know, maybe I'll have to go inside to the bathroom while I'm vlogging. I hope. I'm tired, you guys. I'm worn out. Like, I'm so worn out from all of this. And so my plan was originally that I was just going to, like, take the rest of it. First of all, for me, and I think for you guys that have watched me for a long time, for me to just, I'm just throwing it all out there today. For me to take a day off from filming videos is really hard. Like, when I take a day or two off on the weekends, it's really hard for me. For my own, like, just well-being and mental health on just any day, right? For me to take a day off from vlogging is really, really, really hard. And, you know, for me to take off multiple days from vlogging and filming, like, that is, it's just like, it's in my head. And so Monday, Was it Monday? It was before I went to the emergency room. Yeah, I think before I even left the house, I put out something because I was like, I just need to take care of myself. And, you know, my husband and all my friends and stuff were like, Peter, you need to just take, like, this isn't just your physical health. Like, this is affecting, like, everything because, like, you're upset about this and you're stressed about this. And it's just, like, this hasn't just been, like, a physical thing with the kidney stones. Like, I've just been, like, so stressed out about it. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm not getting great sleep. And so everybody around me was encouraging me just to take a couple days off. You guys were encouraging me. You're like, we'll be here when you get back. Just take off as much time as you need. So I did. So my plan was that I wasn't going to film any videos until Monday. But today I was sitting around and I had a doctor's appointment this morning. And so I got back from my doctor's appointment. I laid down and I took like a 2.5 hour nap, and I got up and I thought, I feel okay. I don't feel great, but I feel okay. I feel good enough that I can vlog. And I was like, I miss everybody, and I want to come back and I want to share with you guys what's going on. So I'll tell you my plan going forward at the end of this vlog for this weekend and next week and whatever. But all of it, to be honest with you, kind of rides on whether or not I pass this stone, because at this point, I mean, if I pass the stone, everybody's telling me, like, yeah, you'll be, like, back to normal the next day. Like, there might be some lingering effects, but, like, you'll be pretty much back to normal as soon as you pass it. So, yeah, so I was like, sooner or later, you know, no matter how you feel, and there's a lot of people out there every day that don't feel great, that have to get up and go to work. It's like sooner or later, I was like, you got to get back into this. First of all, I'm bored. I'm real bored, okay? I mean, I can sit and watch 10 TV shows a night, but during the day, I feel like I should be doing something productive. And so I'm really bored. And most of what I've been doing during the day is sit out here and either read or listen to audiobooks. And I've gone through the 2 out of the 3 James Patterson books for April. I haven't finished the 3rd one yet, but I have like an hour left of it. I've gone through like 3 books in 3 days, because that's all I do is just sit in this chair. This chair is so comfortable for me to sit in for some reason when any other chair is not. So I was like, you know, you've got to figure out. I've got 2 birds in my one bird feeder, and one's inside the wooden one right now, which Caroline loved when she was here yesterday. She was like, oh my God, that bird feeder is so pretty. I've got to figure out how to manage this pain if I'm going to not, because, well, it could be 2 to 3 more weeks of this, and I can't just not film for 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, I just can't. So I have to figure out kind of like how to film and how to do. I mean, if I wake up and I'm like in horrible pain, obviously I just won't film that day. But if I'm feeling okay, like I'm feeling right now, like I'm in pain, but I'm okay. Like I would say my pain is like a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. You know, it's manageable, and I can film. And so if I can, then I want to film. And I've kind of got to figure out. So I was like, today's as good as any. And I wanted to do the Sister Wives video because I had taken notes earlier in the week when I watched the episode, thinking that I was going to be able to film the next day. Sunday night, I watched it. And so thinking I was going to be okay on Monday, and Monday just was not a great day. And so then I just said, you know, haven't filmed it. So today I was like, I don't want those notes to go to waste. So I filmed my Sister Wives video, and I did okay, like, until about halfway through. I was sitting in the bed upstairs. I might have to change where I film while I'm going through this. Like I said, this is all contingent on whether or not I pass this stone. If I pass this stone today, I'll probably be back to filming tomorrow. But I don't know, not even then I probably won't, because regularly, I think I just need some, I mean, this is just really taking a mental toll on me, to tell you the truth. I'm just like, I'm kind of worn out with all of it. Not kind of, I'm to my limit. I'm just to my limit. So, number one, thank you guys so much. The amount of comments that were so supportive of me, I tried to put out as many statements as I could without it being overwhelming. I didn't want to do one every day to let you guys know, you know, like on my community tab and the Vloggerinos group, to let you guys know. I actually also put it up on my drama video channel to let you guys know what was going on and that I wasn't going to be filming. The amount of comments that I got, just every comment was so glowing and so supportive. The amount of comments on my videos, so many people have reached out to me in direct messages. I mean, every time I open it, it's more people just being like, hey, is the kidney stone passed? I hope you're feeling better, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And people have just been so kind. You guys, it's just, you know, I'm coming up next week on it being 9 years of YouTube. I started my BookTube channel 9 years ago next week. I think it's next week, maybe 2 weeks from now. And it's surreal to me, you know, this, like, that people that I've never met are you guys are so kind. And it's just like, and it really has been so helpful to get online and see all the love and support, and people sharing stories with me, people saying, oh my God, like I went through that, it's the worst pain ever, or people saying I went through that and my husband went through that. You know, it's just like all the stories you guys have shared with me validated and also normalized it for me, and I just want to say I appreciate that. And for those of you that never have gone through it, I mean, it's just all the support and love just has meant so much to me, number one. Number two, like I said, no, I have not passed a stone. So let's go back and I'll tell you what I've been going through, and then I'll tell you my plan going forward, and then I will tell you what I've been doing if I get to all that, what I've been doing behind the scenes of it all, which is not real exciting. It's been TV shows and books. So this is what happened. I actually had to look. So I was like, when was my last vlog? My last vlog was on Sunday, and it was after we got back from brunch. So I was not feeling great on, I did not feel great on Sunday night. I don't know if I said, the pain has shifted. It's no longer like in my right groin. It's now like moved up a little bit and over. I will just tell you this right now. I'm going to have to use some words to describe this on here today, what I'm going through. I'm going to have to use some like anatomical words, and I'm going to have to use some medical terms if that's triggering to people. I just want to be clear about that before I get ahead. The amount of times I've said penis in the last week, I mean, I probably said it to medical professionals. I mean, it's like I feel like I've said it 150 times, if not 200 times. But anyway, so it's shifted, and it's now like, well, they've told me specifically where it is, but it's like between it's like at the beginning of my urethra is where it's at. And so the pain is different than what it was last week. I'm still having waves of extreme pain when it moves a little bit, but it's not like it was last week. So what's happened is the pain has gone from being these waves of like extreme pain, and I've really, really worked hard to stay off of like, you know, Googling stuff and whatever. I mean, I've been told by everybody that like every situation is completely different. So what happened was last week, the pain, when I was talking to you guys about it, was like, it was these extreme waves, right? It's kind of switched from that now to where it's kind of this constant pain that kind of gets worse and worse and worse throughout the day. And it's like it's in my groin, but it's like in my lower, it's like where my bladder is. And so, so Monday, I woke up and I just was, I mean, it was really, really bad pain. It was really, really bad pain. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And I called my doctor, my primary care physician. So part of the problem was that they were going to try to book me a urology appointment in ER, and then they were like, they'll call you, and then they didn't call me to set up the appointment. And then they were like, so when I called, they were like, oh, you have to set it up. And so on Monday, the scheduler was supposed to get back to me and never did. And so then I called, I like woke up and I'm in all this pain and I'm trying to get in the urology. And then I called my primary care physician, but my doctor and his nurse were out on Monday. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, what am I supposed to do, right? And I'm like in extreme pain at that point. So, and the thing is that there's a strong urgency. At this point, I had gone, at that point, I think it was like all night long and into the morning of just constantly feeling like I had to urinate. It was just constant. It was like I would go and nothing would come out. I mean, literally nothing would come out. And I just felt like I would sit back down, and I mean, it was almost like I was in tears, because I was like, and it hurts because you feel like your bladder's full, but you can't go. And so, and then like there's this burning, stinging that's like this, but it's more like pain in this entire area. And it's like, and it just is the whole entire day. So, and I've had like every urine test, every blood test. I have no infection. There's nothing going on, right? Except for this kidney stone. I've had my urine and blood tested so many times I can't even tell you at this point. It's like every time I go in, they test my urine. So, because they're very worried that it could be, like there could be an infection with it. So as of this morning, my appointment was at 8:30. They tested my urine. I have no infections whatsoever. Thank God. That's, you know, one thing that's positive about this. So I go to the emergency room first of all, the pain killers that they released or that Alex went and picked up for me don't really work. Nothing's really working for me at this point. They had originally given me naproxen, which is basically just prescription level Aleve. And then they had like also, when they sent me home on Thursday night, I think that's when they gave me the Toradol and the pain reliever, like, you know, IV fluid, whatever, at the hospital. And I felt okay a little bit after that on Thursday night, but then it was like back to so whatever. So the naproxen wasn't working. The pain pills that Alex picked up for me, they weren't really working. And so nothing was really taking away the pain at all. And so I'm like, I don't know what it's sounding like on camera, so it's probably sounding super windy. Let me pull you guys in a little closer. So on Monday, I went back to the emergency room, and I got there at like 3 o'clock. And it was a completely different story than I had gone there on Thursday night, because Wednesday, it was packed. Or Monday, it was packed. Absolutely packed, the emergency room. And, but it didn't take me that long to get back. I got back in like an hour. It was, the woman that checked me in remembered me from the other night. She's like, oh, you're back? And she's like, are you still in pain? I'm like, yeah, I'm like in really, really bad pain. So they got me back, and they're like, it was a different nurse and different like doctor and all that kind of stuff. And the doctor was really, really nice. And he said, like, he looked at my old imaging and all that kind of stuff. And he was like, this is what we're going to do. He was like, we're going to, now I feel like you guys are too close and it's cutting off my head, my hat. But anyway, he was like, we're going to give you pain medication to relax your bladder and to relax you. And then we're going to give you IV fluids, hopefully to push this stone out while you're here. And I go, tonight? He goes, yeah, we're going to push it out tonight. Well, I started asking him about all these procedures. Okay. Oh, this was the other thing. So, oh, no. I'm forgetting all of this. Okay. I'm forgetting a whole huge part of this. So when I called to talk to my doctor that morning, the doctor and the nurse were not there, but the triage nurse was there. And so the triage nurse was like looking at my stuff, and he said, the doctor saw, like, he looked at your imaging and there's like a note on here that it's an abnormal imaging. And I said, what does that mean? And he said, I'm wondering if your pain isn't from an infection. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, the doctor is saying that there is urine behind the stone. There's like, it's blocking your urine. And I said, I don't know what that means. And he said, well, I can have them call you tomorrow. He's like, or, you know, you can possibly consider the emergency room. And I was in a lot of pain, okay? So my dad has a history. I have a whole long history. I think I talked about this when we went to lunch with my dad, of kidney stones. So I called my dad, and I was like, Dad, I don't know what to do. And so I was telling him about this. And as soon as I said the imaging thing, my dad said, he was like, Pete, you need to go to the emergency room. He's like, you're in more pain than you were. He was like, the painkillers are not working for you. And he was like, the naproxen, he's like, that alone should really help. He goes, since that's not working, the pain reliever's not working. He said, what's concerning to me is, he said, if there's urine behind the stone, he said you could get an infection, which could cause a kidney infection, which could cause your kidneys to shut down. He's like, that's my concern, so you need to go to the emergency room. So I'm in all this pain. My dad's telling me that, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the emergency room. So when I went in there, I'm telling them all this, right? So he's like, okay, the stone's gonna come out tonight. I'm like, oh my God, thank God, some relief, right? Like, I'm gonna leave here with no stone. And I really thought, because my dad had said to me on the phone, he goes, if they think that you're in that much pain, there's either going to be an infection, they're going to have to go in there, they're going to have to remove the stone, they're going to call in the on-call urologist and all this kind of stuff. Well, none of that really happened. And so I sat there we left at like, I think it was like 10:30, 10:45. I was over there. I was there for like, I was back for over 7 hours. So they gave me this pain medication, and it didn't work. I mean, it didn't hit at all. It didn't like, and so then they left, and they came back like, you know, an hour later, and I was like, half of the bag of the liquid was gone, and they're like, and in between then, I kept on, because they were like, you can like take the bag and go to the restroom. And so the restroom was like across the hall behind the nurse's station, and I had to like carry it with me. And so I'm going into the restroom constantly because I feel like I have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, I'm going to pass this stone, and I'm never having to go to the bathroom. Like, I go, and I just can't go, like, at all, right? And I'm really frustrated. Alex was so sweet. He's being so kind through the whole thing. He's like, babe, it's gonna, like, if they're telling you whatever. Oh, this was one of the things. So when I talked to the doctor, I feel like, first of all, I've told this story like 600 times. Do you ever get tired of telling a story? So just bear with me, because I'm going to forget things as I go, because I'm like backtracking. I've told this story like to 6 people, like, you know, Tanya, my sponsor, my dad, my stepmom, you know, like Nikki, Mel, Caroline, everybody, like each day that it's happened. So, so when I went in there, I said to the doctor that the doctor said I would pass it in 1 to 2 days. And Alex was like, she said 1 to 2 days, possibly 4. And so the doctor was like, she told you between 2 and 4 days. And I said, yeah. And he goes, oh, no. He goes, I think where it's at right now, he goes, you're probably looking at between like 2 and 3 weeks. And I was like, 2 and 3 weeks? He goes, if you pass it on your own at home. He goes, but we're going to try to like get it done tonight. And I was like, okay, that's great. And I'm thinking if it doesn't happen, then they're going to come in and they're going to bring in the on-call, you know, urologist to do this procedure. Because my dad had told me there's like a couple different procedures that they do, blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like, okay, so if you do the first pain medication, it doesn't work. So give me another medication, and it did work, but it only lasted for like an hour where it relaxed my bladder. And so I'm sitting there and, you know, whatever, reading my book. Alex is, you know, looking at TikToks and whatever. I'm just sitting there waiting for it to pass, and it's getting later and later and later. And so at one point the doctor came in and he said something about like, well, I'm off at 10. And I said, okay, so what happens if you leave and nobody, like, and nothing's happened? And I said, is there a need to call like the on-call urologist? And he's like, oh, no, I don't think there's a need for that. And I said, so and that's when Alex he was like, well, I thought we were discussing the possibility of doing this procedure. And he was like, no, that's an outpatient procedure that you would schedule. We wouldn't have an on-call urologist come in and do that. And he's like, and based on your results, he's like, and I said to him, I go, is this really normal? And I'm just kind of like overacting. He goes, this is really normal. He goes, you're not overacting. He goes, you're having extreme pain due to a kidney stone. And he said something again, like the other person had, about like, this is like, they see a lot of emergency room sees a lot of like kidney stone stuff about this. It's starting to hurt a little bit more, but people are like, don't vlog if it hurts. But if I never vlog, I'll never vlog until this is gone. You know, and I'm just kind of bored. So I'll take a break here in a second, try to go to the bathroom and then come back. But, I don't honestly really have to go that bad right now. So anyway, so he's like, no, we're not going to call in the on-call urologist and blah, 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 whatever. And he's like, I'll just send you home with like pain medication. Well, the pain medication that they had called me in was not working. It was just like, it was not helping at all. And so I told him that, and he was like, okay, well, we'll see what we can call you in, blah, 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 whatever. And so I'm there 7 hours. I'm frustrated. You know, like, Alex is frustrated. They're really nice. I mean, everybody was super nice there. But there's really no plan. And so when he comes back in again, he's like, oh, maybe it was that time. And he was like, you need to get a urology appointment set up. And I said, okay. I said, I tried to call today. I said, when I was in here on Thursday, they said urology would call me to set it up. Urology never called me to set it up. I called today. I had to leave a voicemail. I couldn't get really, you know, to get to anybody. And so he goes, okay. And he said, well, they'll call. So brought in this up, he's like, they'll call you. And I was like, to set up an appointment? And he was like, yeah, they'll call you. I want you in there as soon as possible, hopefully within the next 24 hours. If the referral comes from me, they'll be able to get you in the next 24 hours. I'm like, okay, great. This is Monday night, mind you, okay? So releases me, and that night was not too bad because I left the hospital. I had the pain medication. I mean, they'd also given me the Toradol on top of the pain medication. The Toradol, well, first of all, so then he also prescribed me Toradol to take home. The Toradol at home has not helped at all. In fact, the naproxen helps more than the Toradol. The Toradol is another, it's like in the same category, if I understand it correctly, of like drugs as like a naproxen, which is basically a Aleve. It's like an NSAID or whatever. I don't know how they pronounce that, but anyway, it's basically the same thing. And apparently that's supposed to really help kidney stones, except for in extreme cases, and it's not helping me. So we go home. That's Monday night. Alex had to get up early, so he went right to bed and stuff like that. And I sat up because I was like, okay, I'm not like in that much pain, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, and he was like, I want you to take this pain medication like every 6 hours. And I'm like, okay, but it's not working. Like, it's not helping me. It's just like a little bit. And he was like, okay, then like take 1.5. So I came home. They had like given me some like right before I left the hospital. So when I got home, I didn't need it. So I felt okay. And so I was pretty relaxed when I got home. That was Monday night. So then Tuesday, I'm trying to think this through, how it all went. So Tuesday, I get up, and I'm just like really, really hurting. Tuesday was a really, really bad day for me. And it was just this lingering, it's like the pressure that I have right now. As the day goes on, it gets worse. And so like, I'm starting to feel it. It's not even like really pressure. I don't really know how to explain it anymore. It's like, it's sharp. It's a sharp pressure in like my lower bladder. And then it goes into, he called it like, he was like referred pain or whatever, because it goes down my right leg. And then it also like is this really bad pain in my penis as well. And so, and it's not really necessarily always associated with when I go to the restroom or when I don't. It's just really painful. So anyway, and the reason I'm sharing this is because a couple people have said if you share your story, maybe it'll help other people. So I don't know, maybe it will. So anyway, so Tuesday was bad because the pain was like all day. And the nurse from my primary care physician called me back, and she was like, you need to get a urology appointment. I said, I understand that. I said, can you guys call and schedule it for me because, and she's really super nice. And I said, can you guys call and schedule it for me because I am having a hard time getting a hold of anybody there. The wait time every time was 29 minutes. The 2 times I held, she put me, and the second time I said, please don't put me through to the clinical nurse because it just goes to a voicemail and she hasn't called me back. And so she's like, well, we don't do the scheduling for referrals. It has to be through the clinical nurse. I'm gonna have to run to the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I thought I could do this, and I'm going to try to get it all out today, the whole story and everything. I'm like, it's starting to hurt. So I think I can get through this whole thing, so we'll see. But anyway, I will tell you one thing, and this is my experience. When I told the urologist this morning, he looked at me like I was crazy. So you know they tell you to like just like drink a ton of water, right? Like you can drink like water, juice. I actually can have soda. It just has to be clear soda, like Sprite. And you can drink all that. So anyway, the pain for me, like I've been drinking a lot of water like in the last hour, like right here. The pain sometimes, like you're supposed to drink all this water, or all these like liquids, right? To like flush it out and all this kind of stuff. The pain for me sometimes does not really start until I start drinking a lot of liquids. When I said that to the doctor, the urologist this morning, he looked at me like I was kind of crazy. But I was like, I don't know why that is, but like I don't really start feeling pain until like I'm drinking a lot of liquids during the day. So anyway, what was I saying? So Tuesday, I'm like, this is my frustration, right? Like, and it's nobody's fault. It's just how the systems are set up in place, right? But I've now gone to the emergency room twice, and I have no answers. I went on Thursday, and I went on Monday. I have no answers. I've seen no urologist, no on-call urologist. They both just sent me home and been like, it's going to be fine, just like blah, 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 whatever, right? Okay. You're going to pass this on your own with pain medications. The pain medications aren't working. It'll be fine. Just keep on taking the pain medications. You'll pass it. It's like I'm having no relief, and I'm in pain all day long, right? Okay. So I'm talking to the nurse on the phone, and she's like, well, we can't do that unless we see you because you've been to the emergency room. And I'm like, you can't just refer me to your urologist. She's like, well, he would need to see you before he can refer you. And she's like, it's just our policy is what it is. And I said, that's fine. I said, so can I schedule an appointment? She's like, yeah, I can get you in tomorrow and like at 3:20. So I was like, okay, tomorrow, 3:20. I said, hopefully I'll have a urology appointment by then. And she was like, well, it might be good for us to see you anyway. She was like, just because you've been in the emergency room and whatever. She's like, but if you don't want to come in here, she's like, yeah, urologist is where you need to be. Like, she was super, super nice. I was like, okay. So I call on Tuesday, again, trying to get this urology appointment. I keep on getting in touch with this, or keep on getting this girl's voicemail. She had called me back at one point, and she was like, I'm the clinical scheduler, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, I did not know that she was off for the rest of the week. That she worked like Monday and was then, or whatever, and then was off the rest of the week. So I had no clue of that. Until Wednesday, when it's like middle of the day, I'm running around with Caroline, and it's like halfway through the day, and I'm like, and I'm trying not to take like any pain medication or whatever. I'm like, just get through, because I try to save it for the night so I can have like 4 or 5 hours of relief, which is this other game that I'm playing, right? Because it's like, I want to wait until like the pain is hurting. So I start hurting with Caroline a lot earlier. It was weird, because Caroline came yesterday. She's like, are you sure you want to go? I said, I want to get the hell out of this house and just have some fun. Like, I need to get out of this house and just run around. One of the things they tell you to do is do a lot of walking. I cannot walk. I right now, like, to even, like, walk around the yard of the mailbox, to change the bird feeders and stuff like that, like, I walk back inside. It's pain radiating down my right leg. So I was like, I just want to get out of this house and just and not see a doctor's office or an emergency room. So thank God Caroline came and picked me up yesterday. And we had so much fun and we ran around. But like halfway through, so she was going to take me to my doctor's appointment and then Alex was going to pick me up afterwards. So that was at 3:20. Well, when I was running around with Caroline, the urology office called and they said, so-and-so is out. Oh, because I had called back and I said, I need to get an appointment. I don't understand what's going on here. And I said, you know, the ER said they were going to like call you and you were going to call me to schedule it. Nobody's called me to schedule it. I've called. She called me back on Monday, but nobody else has called me, blah, 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 whatever. So this other woman called me and she said, I'm taking over because she's out the rest of the week. And didn't she leave that to you in a voicemail? I said, no, nobody said that to me. She goes, okay, well, I'm really sorry. They want to get you in as soon as possible. You're supposed to get in here like on yesterday because of how the ER. And I said, yeah, I understand it. She goes, can you come in tomorrow morning? I said, yes. So she said tomorrow morning, 8:30. So my appointment was at 8:30 this morning. Okay. So last night, okay. So then I went and I saw my primary care physician yesterday. Super, super nice. And he's like, you know, I'm not a urologist. I'm a primary care physician. I don't really like, this isn't like my area of specialty and all this kind of stuff, right? And so we're talking and he was like, you know, some of my concerns are this. He said, number one, I'm not really sure why the ER released you without doing a procedure to remove the kidney stone if you're that much pain and this is your second time. He goes, number one. Number two, I don't understand why they didn't call your urologist. Did I say oncologist? I meant urologist. And I said, well, that's what my dad said. Because my dad was pissed. My dad's like, why didn't they call the urologist on call? It wasn't like, I mean, I got there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It wasn't like it was like 10 o'clock. My dad said it wasn't like it was at 10 o'clock on Saturday night. He was like, there's no reason why they couldn't have called the on-call person in there. He was like, you know, I don't understand that. This is your second time in the emergency room. You're in a lot of pain, blah, 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 whatever. But I don't know. Like, and I have a hard time in situations like that, knowing what the right questions are, knowing how pushy to be. I'm not somebody that, like, I talk a lot about advocating for your own patient health because in certain situations I've gone through it, but in a situation like that, I don't know what questions to ask. I don't know to look at the doctor and say, well, shouldn't you be calling an on-call, you know, the on-call urologist, or aren't they going to, I mean, Alex asked those questions, but I didn't know, like, you know what I mean? And so I'm talking to my primary care physician, and he's like, and furthermore, he was like, when you said that the pain meds weren't working, they should have released you on a different kind of pain med instead of sending you home the same kind of pain med. Unfortunately, he said, I can't give you anything else because they've already called this in. And I go, that's totally fine. I totally understand it. I'll just have to deal with it, right? Like, I'm at this point where I just have to deal with the pain. So, I'm like, he was super nice. Alex picked me up afterwards. Last night, came home. And I just kind of relaxed until, like, I couldn't relax anymore. Took the pain pill and then relaxed. And I actually went to bed really early last night. Because I just was like, when I got comfortable, I was like, because sometimes when I've been getting comfortable, it's like, it's the only 4 hours. So I'm not hardly eating because, and when I'm in pain, I don't want to eat. So I wait, okay, to take this pain medication because they won't, like, send you home with 40, if that makes sense. So it's like, you can only take, like, 2 a day, 1 for, you know, every 12 hours or whatever, although the doctor said I was supposed to take them every 6 hours, but anyway. So I'm waiting the entire day to take them. So when I take it, and then it takes, like, they're such low-grade painkillers anyway, that it takes me like a half an hour to 45 minutes for me to hit, and then I'm like, okay, now I can eat. Now I feel relaxed enough, my bladder's relaxed, I feel comfortable enough, and then it only lasts like 3 or 4 hours. So I'm like in pretty much constant pain the rest of the day. So this morning, I'm like, okay, I'm either going to pass it. Last night, I thought, I'm either going to pass it or I'm going to go to the urologist this morning and he's going to give me all kinds of answers. Thank God. I'm going to have all these answers to what's going on and I know what's going to go on. My dad and my primary care physician and Alex and everybody was like, oh, I think they're going to probably do one of these procedures on you to move the kidney stone. Like, this has been going on too long now, right? I mean, they think that it really started in Miami because I was having some back and side pain in Miami. I don't know if I said it to you or you guys or if I said it, but like Alex was like, don't you remember you were complaining of back pain in Miami? So we're thinking that it probably started like all the way back then. So anyway, I'm so frustrated with this whole process. So I go into my urologist today. I mean, I've never been to a urologist before. I'm thinking they're going to have to do all kinds of private exams. And I was like a nervous wreck this morning. So I got up. You know, Alex takes me to my urology appointment. The guy's really, really nice. And so I'm explaining everything to him. And he's like, well, I looked at your imaging. And I said, would you call it abnormal? He said, I wouldn't necessarily. He said, the most recent imaging, he goes, I can see where your stone is. He goes, and it's fine. Your urine test came back. No infection this morning because they took urine there. He was like, everything looks okay. He goes, this is a normal kidney stone. Oh, because one of the things my primary care physician said was that for a 3 millimeter stone, he's surprised I hadn't passed it yet. And that was his concern. He's like, I think that they would go in. The urologist said that's actually not true. He said, kidney stones can sometimes float around forever, and they can take, and that's when you don't want them to, so you go in and remove them. But typically it takes anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks to 2 months for a kidney stone to pass on its own. Which I looked at him and I was like, and I'm supposed to be in pain. I told him, I said, I make videos on YouTube. I can't film any videos on YouTube. I can't really do anything for like 2 months. He was super nice. He was like this younger guy, and he was like real laid back and explained everything to me. And he was like, no. And so he's like, but that's, I said, so I'm explaining the whole thing to him. He's asking me everything. I go through the whole like emergency room. He had all the records and everything. So it's all like in the same like, system. So anyway, he's like, I don't see anything abnormal with it. He explains where it was. He's like, I think, my guess is you're probably going to pass it. And I said, on your own with pain medication. And I go, okay, but the pain medication I'm on is not working. The Toradol that they sent me home is not working. The naproxen actually works more for me than the Toradol. He goes, the Toradol's not working for you? And I said, not at all. And he goes, okay, it's supposed to really work. The Toradol is like really good for kidney stones. I said, I don't feel anything. And he said, in the pain medication, like in extreme cases, I said, oh no, it's hardly touching the pain at all, like at all. And he's like, okay. He's like, well, that's what I always prescribe. And he's like, and so that's really all I'm not going to prescribe anything different than that. I was like, you know what? A little relief is better than anything. Although I'm now on about day 10 of just living in constant pain, and I'm real over it. So anyway, but he was super nice, and I understand, it's like there's only certain things they do. So he's like, and I'm asking him all these questions that people have sent to me, because a lot of you guys have said things like apple cider vinegar, lemonade, walking, whatever, no salt. He's like, no salt's probably a good idea. He goes, but you want to maybe start that 6 months ago. He's like, it's not going to really affect the moving of it. I said, what about apple cider vinegar? He goes, I've heard all those things too, and lemonade and whatever. And he goes, it can't hurt you. He goes, but I don't think it's going to help it at all either. I go, what will help it? He goes, drinking a lot of water. You just need to drink a lot of water. I said, okay, so what's the plan? And he said, the plan is, I want you to go home, and we're going to hopefully hope that you pass it. I'm so frustrated at this point, you guys. Like, I'm literally like, I'm like almost in tears in his office. The man was so nice. But I, honest to God, thought I was going in there this morning, because they're like, I thought I was going to go in there this morning and they were going to do this procedure and they were going to remove it. And I was like, when he said that you're going to go home and, continue to take the pain medication, and I asked him, I said, can you call me in more naproxen, because that's the Aleve stuff. I said it works better for me. He's like, I will, because the Toradol probably over long term will work for you better. And I was like, this is the other thing. So Saturday, it was supposed to be Friday and Saturday night. We were going to, our friends built a cabin in Brown County, Indiana, which is beautiful. And so they invited it. It's like the 3 couples that we always do stuff together. They invited us to come down there for a weekend with the other couple, but the husband can't go, just the wife. And so we were going to go Friday and Saturday. But it ended up changing just to Saturday to Sunday, because her husband can't go and she can't leave until noon on Saturday. I really want to go. So I'm going to that. I don't care how much pain I'm in. I need to just get away and just, whatever. I'll just like, I'll take the pain pills and get through it, I guess. I don't know. And so I'm like, I said, what, and I'm asking him all these questions, like, how soon do you think I'm going to pass it? And he's like, Peter, he's like, I don't know. He was like, this is not like an exact science. And I said, he goes, you're probably anywhere between now and the next 3 weeks. And I'm like, 3 weeks? And he's like, yeah. And I said, is there a need for me to go back to the emergency room? He goes, there's no reason for you to go back to the emergency room unless you're in extreme pain in the middle of the night, like you need like IV pain medication. He said, or you have fever and chills. He said, there's no reason that you need to go back to. There was somebody, I just want to say this, there was somebody that left a comment on one of my videos, and they said something, and they said, and it was such a nice comment, and they were like correcting somebody about something, and they said signed a urology assistant or something like that. I appreciated that comment, because I was like, I can say anything and people be like, well, that's not my experience, or you should do this, or you should do that. I'm literally telling you what I've been told. So, anyway. So he's like, if it's not out, okay, if the pain increases, I go, the pain increases how? I said, and he goes, I said, I'm already in a lot of pain, okay? And this is literally how I am in the office. Like, I'm like, is this a joke? Like, am I being pranked? Like, seriously? Because I'm in so much pain at this point, right? I mean, at the night, like, come like 8 or 9 o'clock, like, it's unbelievable pain, right? He said, then we will do these procedures. And I go, okay. And he's telling me about this procedure. And I go, well, aren't there like 3 procedures? And I said something about like, my dad one time had to like sit in this tub. And he goes, we don't do that anymore. And I said, okay, well, what are the procedures? Because I said, the nurse at the hospital said sometimes they go in with a catheter. He goes, we wouldn't do that with you. And I said, well, what would it be? And he said, it's this thing called a uretoscopy. Okay? And it's got all these really fun pictures in here. If you want to see all these really fun pictures of what it looks like. And basically, and this was the real fun part, okay? He said it's like a 15-minute operation. You have to go under. It's an outpatient operation. And basically, you go in, and sometimes they put a stent, sometimes they don't, to remove the kidney stone. And, but I said to him, I go, so is it a painful procedure? Because I'm thinking he's going to say, oh, no, not at all. And he goes, it sometimes can be really painful. He goes, especially afterwards if you're really sensitive in this area. And I'm like, well, I'm really sensitive in this area right now. So what are you talking about? Like, I'm hurt and I'm in pain, right? And he said, so I said, well, what's the laser thing? And he goes, well, they actually, I don't want to get too graphic on here, but they actually like put a probe inside and then the laser goes inside and then they break the stones apart. So you're talking about, this is all inside of your penis, okay? Like, I don't know if that sounds like fun for you, but that does not sound like fun for me. Now, mind you, I'm under, okay, an anesthetic or anesthesia while I'm doing that. But he said, this is the procedure that we will be doing if you do not pass this stone on your own. This is the option. There's not 50 options. There's not this. There's not apple cider vinegar and lasers. This is the option, okay? Right here. So y'all can look it up. Uroscopy, I don't know. You can look it up. This is what he gave me. He gave me this morning. It has in here a ureteral stent. He said that's a possibility, but they don't always do that. The procedure, talk with your doctor. Anyway, he gave me all this morning. I'm not excited about it. So he said, this is what we would do if I have not passed the stone in 3 weeks. And I said, 3 weeks I have to live with this pain? He said, yeah. He said, if the pain medication is no longer working, then this is what we'll do because the pain has gotten so bad. And at 3 weeks, then we would start worrying about it. He goes, or if an infection. I said, if I go to the emergency room, I said, because I asked him, he said, only if you have like a fever or chills or you have more pain, because that's probably indicative of an infection. If you have an infection, then we have to go in there and remove it. I said, okay, so what would happen then? He goes, well, we would keep you in the hospital, put you on the floor, and then we would schedule it for the next day and we would do the procedure. I said, okay, so that could happen, I guess. That's my last wish. He's like, or, he was like, we could get it on the books right now, and then in 3 weeks, if it hasn't passed. And I said, do you think I should do that? And he goes, because he said it takes a day or two to get it scheduled. He goes, I don't think we need to do that. I go, okay. And he goes, I think it's going to pass on its own in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And I'm like, you think it's going to pass on its own in the next 3 to 4 weeks? He's like, because he said 2 to 3 weeks. He's like, I think it's going to pass in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And I said, do you think it's going to pass this week? He goes, and he starts laughing. He's like, Peter, I told you, there's no exact science. I'm not a mind, I'm not a mind reader. I can't, not a mind reader, but whatever. And I'm like, okay. And then he says to me, he goes, this would be what we would do if the pain medication, how did I text everybody in my thing today? And I say this to me when I got out of the appointment, because everybody's texting me, like, how's it going? How's it going? Hold on a second. Where's it? Caroline's text. Texts me this morning. How's the doctor's appointment? I go, literally no new info. He thinks it'll pass in 3 to 4 weeks. If it doesn't, then surgery. I told him the pain meds aren't working because he wanted to call me in the same thing, which he did. He said, if the pain meds aren't working, then we should consider surgery. I said, then let's consider surgery because the pain meds aren't working. He told me to wait because it's way too early for that. So basically, I'm leaving an appointment in pain and no solution. I said, I'm effing over it. And I am. And he was really, really nice. He was super nice, but I'm over it. I'm over it. I just guess I'm supposed to just sit here in pain all day long. It's absolutely maddening. It's just absolutely maddening, and I'm over it. And And the thing is, I can't be mad at anybody. It's not his fault, you know? It's not my fault. It's not, maybe it's God's, no, it's not God's fault. I mean, all of my doctors, all of the nurses, every person I've come encountered with, they have all been so fantastic. You know, I said to him, I said, I honest to God thought I was coming in here today to get a procedure. And he goes, I wish that was, he goes, even if that was the plan, he goes, you're looking at the next 2 days. He goes, because it's an outpatient procedure that we have to schedule in the hospital or the surgery center. And I said, okay. And I said, so do you think we should schedule? He goes, no, I think it's too early for that. I said, so you think I'm going to pass it? He goes, it's a 3 millimeter stone. He goes, if it was larger than that, he goes, if it was 5 to 10 millimeters, I would be really concerned about it. He goes, yeah, we go in and, because but I think you're going to pass it on your own. And I said, oh, this was the other thing. Did I talk about this? No, because I don't think I had it yet, maybe. But anyway, one of the times in the emergency room, they gave me one of these strainer things that looks like a little spaghetti calendar. It's like white. And you're supposed to pee through this thing. Well, apparently it's for 2 reasons. Number one, you can see if you, like, the stone came out. But number two, it's, and everybody said this on my video the last time. I must have mentioned it because people said it on my video. But he said this to me today. He was like, you want to catch it so we can test the stone to see, like, if it's like what kind of stone it is. It's a calcium stone or whatever. He's like, as far as like diet changes, this is just so fun getting older. Let me just tell you, and I know that there are a lot of younger people. Some of you out there said that you passed like 20 to 30 stones. I was like, God love those people. They are literally saints on earth. I'm passing a 3 millimeter stone, and you'd have thought that I was like going through hell the last 2 weeks. No, seriously. Like, I am so tired of talking about this kidney stone. I'm so tired of talking about... You know, like, it's like every person I come into, it's like I register in the hospital, right, for the ER. I go into the nurse asks me, then the physician's assistant, then the doctor. And it's like every person comes in, they're like, well, where's the pain? I'm like, in my bladder and my penis. I'm like so tired of saying the word penis. It's like ridiculous. You know? I said to this one nurse, you're probably, I mean, because, you know, I do have some moments where I'm like right now, where it's kind of like, it's like if you don't laugh, you cry, right? And I said, you probably get so tired of hearing, you probably get just as tired of hearing the word penis as I am tired of saying it. She goes, it's better than some of the words we hear in here. I thought, oh, I bet it is. I said, what words do people use? She goes, I can't say. But anyway, the nurses were super, super nice. Oh, they did this, so when I was in there on Monday, they did this, like, he called it a probe, but it was like an ultrasound over my bladder to see how much liquid I had in my bladder. At that point, I had, like, pretty much, like, it was all gone from my bladder, which is why I wasn't, like, pushing the stone out or urinating anything at the hospital, because there was almost no liquid in my bladder. And so he said, I'm going to have the nurse start bringing you whatever you want to drink. So she's like, what do you want to drink? When she said I could have a Shasta, well, she called it Shasta. When she was like, do you want a Shasta? I was like, you can keep bringing those Shastas. So she brought me water and lemon lime Shastas. Oh my God. Those lemon lime Shastas will set you free. They really will. And the other, I think it was yesterday on the way home from the doctor's office, I asked Alex, I said, can you please stop at the gas station? And I got a huge Sprite, because I can have that. And people are like, Peter, stop drinking. This is one thing. People are like, Peter, stop drinking fountain pop. Stop drinking this caffeine. I drink like 1 cup of coffee, like caffeinated coffee a day. That Diet Dr. Pepper that I have in there, I can't even tell you the last time I've had a case of Diet Coke in this house. Y'all need to keep up. I mean, maybe out at a store I'll get a Diet Coke or something like, or a restaurant store. But like, I keep Diet Dr. Pepper at my house. People are like, Peter, please stop drinking the Diet Cokes. I have like maybe one of those a week. The doctor this morning said to me, he was like, tell me about your dad's history. I said, oh, it's not just my dad. It's my dad and my grandfather. He goes, so you have a strong male family history of this? I said, yeah. He goes, kidney stones are like a lot of times very like genetic. He was like, my dad, and he even made a joke. He's like, my dad did not pass that on to me. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? He goes, well, you are more like there's a stronger possibility you have kidney stones. He's like, do you know what age your dad was? I said, oh, he just told me this the other day. It was about my age, and he started getting really bad kidney stones. And he goes, so that is some further testing we're going to want to do. He goes, but I want you to pass this first. And that's when he was like, I want you to, so we can figure out what kind of stone it is and whatever. He's like, we can like figure out what you need to do after that. So now I'm back home with pain medication, naproxen, the pain medication, take every 12 hours. So that's the story. I'm trying to think of what else I'm not telling you guys. And there's not, it's boring. I'm passing a kidney. It's so boring. It's so funny that, like, all these people that, like, think that, like, I'm concocting up all this drama from my front porch of talking to my birds and my neighbors out there. My life is so boring that my medical problems are not drama, and they are boring as well, okay? They are boring. I'm passing a kidney stone, and it's painful as shit, okay? It is so painful, but it's boring. I mean, let's just be for real. I'm so tired of talking about it to people, but I wanted to come on here and let you guys know, because you guys have been so kind to me. I feel like I have to, like, run to the restroom really quick again, so give me just 2 and 2, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I had to take a few minutes, you guys. I honestly thought that this was going to be a little bit easier to get all the way through. I don't know. I was, like, really hopeful today. I was like, I'm feeling pretty good. I was even thinking, you know, I was like, okay, if I feel good today, then maybe... Anyway, we'll get to my plan in a second. But I don't know. It's harder to sit here for this long as I thought it would be, and the pain is kind of... I don't know. Maybe I'll just need to start earlier in the day or something. Where was I at? So yeah, I'm just at home trying to pass this thing on pain medications. I'm super frustrated, you guys. I'm just, like, super, super frustrated. Hey, how are you? And like I said, there's not really anybody to be mad at. You know, I called my dad, and I was, like, telling him about what the guy said, and, you know, my dad's like, first of all, he's like, Peter, I'm not a urologist. This is his expertise. He was like, you know, but although I don't agree... So when I told Alex is like, do you think we should get a second opinion? Like, and I said, to be honest with you, I'm burnt out. Like, I'm burnt out on doctor's offices. I'm burnt out on ERs. I'm burnt out on registering and insurance calls. I'm burnt out on all of it, you guys. I'm just really burnt out. Pharmacies, you know, I'm burnt out on all this kind of stuff. I'm hungry. I'm tired all the time. I can hardly eat anything. I'm tired. I'm just worn out. And so Alex was like, do you think we should get a second opinion? And I said, I don't know, let me ask my dad. And so, because God love him, my primary care physician and his nurse, like, well, it's not even actually my primary care physician, it's somebody else that I'm seeing in that practice, but they've now kind of, like, taken over, but they've been just a godsend to me. But I don't want to send one more message to them, like, should I get a second opinion? I mean, I just feel bad, like, I've bothered them so much at this point, and they've been so nice. And so I called my dad, and my dad's like, you know, although I don't agree with the fact that they didn't call the on-call urologist, he said, I feel like everything else he's saying kind of tracks. And he's like, I said, so do you think I should get a second opinion? And he goes, I think if you do, they're going to tell you the same thing. And I said, do you really? He's like, yeah, I think it's just a waiting game to see if you pass this stone. And he was like, you're just going to have to, like, you know, I don't know, you're just going to have to, until they decide to do the surgery or whatever, which I'm scared to death of surgery. I don't know if I said this at the beginning of this, but, like, any kind of surgery, any kind of, like, having to go under, like, that terrifies me. It scares the hell out of me. That's just me being transparent. I don't like the idea. I will do it. Like, I was talking to Alex about it last night, and he was like, if they tell you tomorrow that you're going to go, I said, I'll do it. Like, I'll do it. I mean, I don't like to fly, but it's not going to keep me from going places. You know, and that was one of the things he said today, too. He said, you know, yes, it's an outpatient procedure, but there's risks of anesthesia and whatever. That scares me when they say risks of anesthesia. You know, that scares me. You know, I'm overweight. I'm a sometimes smoker. Like, that scares the hell out of me. You know, that when they say that to me, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to go under for a kidney stone and then not come out. Like, I know, and whenever I say that to people that have a lot of procedures, like, they're always like, Peter, that's, like, ridiculous. But it does scare me, you know? That's just me being honest. But I was ready today. Like, when we walked in there, or when I walked in, yeah, I was like, when I walked into his office, I was like, I thought if he said, we're going to do this today, we're going to take you over there to the hospital, we're going to get it done, because it's right next to the hospital, I was like, okay, let's do it, you know? I'm more frustrated because I left with, I feel like, no answers. I mean, in all honesty, like, other than finding out on Monday that I have no infection, no kidney infection, nothing's wrong. I mean, which everybody's like, well, at least that's a positive. I'm like, yeah, that is. I mean, it is a positive, right? But I could have sent in a urine sample and they could have done that. You know, I didn't have to spend 7 hours in an emergency room. I feel like since Thursday, I've really found nothing new out, except for that I'm at home passing a kidney stone with pain medication. That doesn't really work. You know? And it's just pure hell. And it's just like, I don't know, you know? And everybody's been so sweet. I mean, everybody's checking in on me. stopping by. Caroline's been awesome. She stopped by, check on me the other day, and then today or yesterday we ran around, and you know, it was really nice. Just we actually, so like I said, she was taking me by a doctor's appointment, and Alex was picking me up, and so we actually ran out of things to do, and I didn't have to. So I wanted to bring everything back because I got like paper towels and toilet paper and stuff from Costco. And so I wanted to bring it back here so I didn't have to take all that stuff to the doctor's appointment. Caroline was like, I'll just run it by you tomorrow. I was like, no, like I want that stuff. So anyway, so we got done at like, we left Costco at like 1:30. I wanted to leave the house here at like 3 because we're real close to my doctor's office. And so we had like an hour and 40 minutes, and she's like, where else do you want to go? And we just rambled around the most random places. It was really nice to just not have anything to do. And I knew I wasn't filming any videos, so it was like, I don't have to come back and, you know, like, worry about the sun going down for the vlog or filming inside or whatever. I just, like, I can come back and, like, you know, like, after my doctor's appointment and take a nap and whatever. And so I was like, let's go up to Sullivan's, a nursery up here. So we went up to Sullivan's nursery. By that point, the painkiller had hit, and I was feeling relaxed, like this was not hurting and whatever, which taking like 15 or 20 minutes off of this vlog like really helped me just now. Like, I don't know what, I just went inside, I went to the bathroom, I sat down, it really helped me. I don't know, so maybe that's just what I need to do for, you know, going forward with videos. But Caroline was like answering emails and stuff, and she's like, just take as much time as you want. I was having so much fun just walking around. We were looking at all the bird feeders. I almost bought one. You know what? I just filled that bird feeder yesterday to the halfway mark. I have not seen, first of all, people are saying that it's like squirrels and stuff, and maybe at night. I haven't seen one squirrel in there. The other one that's like open, what the birds do is they fly in and they sit on it and they just mess it all up. And then all the seeds go on the ground, and all the birds are like chickens on the ground. But I don't mind. I kind of love it. It's been very relaxing to just sit out here and listen to my audiobooks and watch the birds. But anyway, so Caroline was like, babe, just walk around, enjoy yourself. She's like, I'm going to sit here and answer some emails. So they have all these setups of furniture. It's this huge, massive place. It's like the warehouse goes into this like greenhouse, goes into this other greenhouse. It's all these plants. There's a restaurant there. I love walking around there. I bought Tanya these 2 towels. Oh, shoot, I shouldn't have said what they were. I told her, she's not watching my vlog anyway. But I bought her these 2 little things that have, she loves anything to do with boats and lakes. And they have these sayings on them. They're so cute. I got those for her. And then I got, I forgot. I'll show you guys this. I'll probably do this in a video next week. But I got pillows. Caroline thinks I should do a whole bird theme out here. I bought so many pillows for out back and up front. So I bought these pillows yesterday. And then I also bought a doormat. I bought that other doormat. I don't think it's going to work. So I bought this doormat at Sullivan's. Let me show you. It says, welcome to our nest. And I have it on top of the other one because I've been so lazy that I haven't taken that one in yet. So I'm going to get, next week, if I'm feeling better on Wednesday when Caroline and I go for Cousin Fun Day, I'm going to go back. I usually go to Costco. Costco's plants, some of them look good, some of them don't. Fernalicious and Farrah are still in the bathroom because it's getting cold at night. But I forgot to tell you, I bought a new fern at Costco yesterday. She's big too. $16 for that. What do you think I should call her? What do you guys think? You guys, I thought Fernando, but I think, I don't know. I was thinking about just calling her Fern. Fernie. How about Fernie? I like that. You guys let me know in the comment section below. But I think I'm going to do bird theme out here this year. Because I love the birds. What was I going to say? Oh, so Caroline was like, babe, just walk around and look and stuff and just enjoy yourself. So I was like, okay. It was nice. Like, I felt, that was like, it was like an hour that I actually physically felt good. When I went to my doctor's, I felt pretty good yesterday. I didn't really feel bad yesterday until like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Probably because I had taken the pain pill. I think it took half of one, actually. So that, when it relaxed that area, and so I felt good. Don't ever take your health for granted. I will say this. After going through pancreatitis, being in the back brace after the accident, now this, having, all this other stuff. Don't ever take, and I know when I'm saying this out there to people that haven't suffered chronic illnesses, which I don't have chronic illnesses, and I feel for people that do. But whenever I go through a situation like this, I always, I say every night in my prayers, I always thank God for my life, my health, and my sobriety. But it's moments like this that make me, I think, especially grateful of just being able to get up and walk around. a store comfortably. You know, like, I mean, I had to take a half a pain pill to walk around a store, you know, like, because I was in so much pain that until I, you know, so anyway, so Caroline's like, Dave, just like enjoy yourself, whatever. So I was like, looked at everything. I looked at the bird. Caroline and I were looking at the bird feeders. There are these ones that were like mossy, but they had little holes. And I said, well, she goes, I've seen those online. She's on TikTok. Birds that don't want to fly in there. So I didn't get one of those, but they were only $23. They were real cute. These pillows were like 18, and I think they were 21, and the mat was 18, which I didn't think was too bad. So I walked around, I looked at all the plants, I talked to this woman with a dog, and she was like, yeah, there was like this golden doodle she had rescued. It was 3 years old. And I was like, I said, it was so friendly, and I said, I love seeing dogs. I said, our last dog passed in October, and I'm still like struggling with it. And she said, oh, our dog passed like in November, our last dog, we had 3. I said, we had 3, and so we were talking, and she's like, this dog just kind of like fell in my lap. I didn't even know. And she's like, I do a lot of work with rescues. We were talking about rescues and stuff. And she was like, somebody just called me about this dog and said, I think it'd be great for you. It was this 3-year-old golden doodle that like had been taking this rescue because their owner had died. It was like, you know, like was elderly. And so she was like, it's just been the greatest thing. She was like, I wasn't ready to get a dog yet. And she was like, it just kind of fell in my lap. And I said, I think that's kind of how it's going to work for me. But anyway. So Caroline, they have all these areas that are like porch setups like this, but they have like, it's beautifully set up. I mean, the whole, if you just said, I want that right there, it would probably cost you 15 grand. So Caroline, with these awnings and stuff, Caroline was sitting there, and this one was like, it's where I found these pillows. It was all nautical themed. I almost bought this one mug. I might buy it next week. It has like this anchor on it. It's very cool. I love anything nautical, because my dad did when I was growing up because of the sailboat and stuff. So anyway, I was like, so I sat down next to Caroline, and we were just like sitting there talking. It was so relaxing. And then we brought the stuff back home, and then she took me to the doctor's appointment, and then Alex picked me up from the doctor's appointment. Yeah, and that's been kind of how it is. So the plan medically going forward is, well, she scheduled a follow-up appointment with him when I left this morning. I also have to go in and do more imaging. I have to have an ultrasound. She set it up for, you know what, it's inside. It's on the card inside. I don't remember. I think it's next Thursday. She set up, he wants me to have another ultrasound to see where it's at next Thursday. Next Tuesday or next Thursday. I can't remember if she said the 6th or the 8th. Y'all don't forget that Mother's Day is a week from Sunday. Don't forget that. Who texted me? Oh, my neighbor. She's asked me if I want to go on a walk. I'm like, I can't. I asked the doctor about it this morning because Alex was like, you know, Alex has been looking up all this stuff. He's been really sweet. Tanya was looking up the stuff to buy online. These like kidney stone busters and stuff like that. He said, don't take that stuff. He told me go straight up. With the cranberry juice and the apple cider vinegar and all that kind of stuff. He's like, it won't hurt you, but I don't know that it'll necessarily help you. He goes, people think it speeds up the process. I don't know. He goes, you know, he's been in the practice for like 10 years, so I mean, I think he would probably know. But he said it won't hurt you. He said if you want to try it. But I said, well, my friend found these like kidney stone buster things. He said, don't take them. I said, why not? He goes, it actually could stop the process of what's going on naturally. He's like, don't take those online. I said, okay. And that was just his advice. Another urologist might tell you something completely different, so I don't know, but he told me not to take this. But I asked him about walking because Alex was like, you know, a lot of people say, and you guys have even mentioned it in the comments and stuff, that walking really helps. I wish I could. I'll be honest with you, I'm so bored that I could literally walk 4 hours a day and maybe like, you know, lose some of this chunk a little bit while I'm sitting here. But I mean, my right leg hurts so much that when I walk like for 20 minutes or whatever to like, you know, yesterday at Sullivan's, it's like I'm like spent and like my leg hurts even more. And I said that to him today, and he goes, no, walking is good for some people with kidney stones. It gets it moving and things like that. He goes, but people that have like pain radiating down their leg, he goes, I would advise you not to walk right now. He goes, at least wait until the pain in your leg is gone. He goes, which is it referred pain or deferred pain? He said, that's not where it's happening. He goes, there's nothing wrong with your leg. He goes, it's just the pain is going down to your leg. He goes, but I don't want something to happen. He goes, so just wait until the pain is gone and then start walking again. Because I told him, I said, I missed my walks, you know? He's like, I understand that. He's like, yeah, and walking is good for passing a kidney stone. He goes, generally. He said, but with you, with having pain in your right leg, he was like, I would not until the pain is not in your right leg anymore. So I'm going to wait. So yeah, so, wait, she texted me back, hold on. She said, oh no, you haven't passed it yet. Say, no girl. So anyway, she was out here the other day and we were talking. I don't know what day that was. I was talking to her, I was getting the mail. I was telling her all about it. My neighbor across the street, she's been checking on me. She and her husband are checking on me a lot. So what have I been doing? And then we'll get to the plan. Oh, the battery just went to the halfway mark, so I don't know how much time I have left. What have I been doing? I've been listening to the James Patterson audiobooks because I was way behind. But now I'm pretty much caught up because I'll finish the third one today. Because, you know, if you don't know what you don't know is a lot. On my BookTube channel, we're reading all of the James Patterson, Alex Cross books as like a read-along. I think this was 9, 10, hold on. It was London Bridges, and then it was Mary Mary. I actually really liked both of them. London Bridges was kind of like a spy one, and Mary Mary was about like movie stars getting killed. I really liked both of them, but I do not know. I'm actually 6 books ahead on my Goodreads goal, by the way, just in case you wanted to know. I think it was 9. Well, it would have been. Well, I can figure it out because April. So let's just look. Mary Mary was my last book I read. View book details. It's book 11, and then right now I'm reading Cross, which is book 12. So then May will be 13, 14, 15. So, and I haven't read the recovery book yet either, which is the Nick Chef one. Oh, it's flashing. I'm gonna have to go inside. I'm so comfortable right now, I don't want to stop. Okay, I'm gonna go get another battery, and then I'll come back and finish this. Okay, I'm back. New battery. I just want to tell you that these pillows that I bought, the bird pillows, are really, really comfortable, especially on my lower back. Oh, that's the other thing, is that the pain has started shifting too, which the urologist this morning, the ER doctor said he thought it was strange. The urologist said it's not strange at all. I'm starting to have lower back pain on my sides, which is where they say it starts. But the urologist said, no, sometimes that can be like an end stage pain too, where you start having, actually there's my neighbor right there, where you can have pain in your sides and your lower back. My lower back has like started to hurt a lot, like towards the evening. So, what was I saying? Oh, about these pillows. But these pillows are really comfortable, which I was kind of like, my neighbor's texting me again. She said, is it even moving yet? I'll text her in a second because I'm about to end this. One of the reasons why I didn't want to take the Christmas pillows in, which are now down in the basement, was because they were so comfortable to sit up against, you know, but now I have these pillows. You know, I was thinking about this when I was coming out here. Now that I'm ending the vlog, I'm near the end of the vlog. Like, I'm really thankful that I chose to vlog today because I missed you guys like crazy. I really did. And I wanted to let you guys know what was going on. I've gotten so many messages from people that are like, has it passed yet? Has it passed yet? I love that people thought it was funny that I said, let's name it. I just, you know, it's like, I don't really know what to do. Like, I don't really know what to tell you what I've been doing, because really what I've been doing is sit in this chair talking on the phone. I can't get comfortable enough to fall asleep and take a nap until late at night, like when I'm absolutely exhausted. So I really haven't been taking a lot of naps. Until I'm comfortable on the pain medication late at night, I really don't have a tolerance to watch a TV show. Alex and I, we're trying to keep up with our shows, and I'm trying to keep up with mine. So Alex and I haven't watched 1,000 Pound Sisters, and it's Thursday. It was on Tuesday. Alex and I watched Real Housewives of Atlanta the other night, and I literally had to get up and go to the bathroom like 5 times. He was so sweet. He was like, babe, go. I'd rather you go than, you know. So, but I was so uncomfortable, and by the end of it, he was like, do you want to watch What Happens Live? And I was like, no, like, I want to go. This chair is, I don't know what it is, and I sit like this, and this is how I sit. Pretty, isn't it? But anyway, and I just talk on the phone, you know? Or like Alex comes out here sometimes and sits with me and we'll talk. people told me to drink lemonade, so I made a whole thing of, I've been drinking all this damn lemonade. I like it, you know, I like lemonade, but it's like, I was sitting on the front porch. The weather has been really nice. It's rained a couple nights, but it's been really nice to just kind of sit out here. So I've been talking on the phone a lot. And if I'm not talking on the phone, I've been listening to audiobooks, because I'm like finding it hard to have, like, I haven't really even been on, like, looking online a lot. Last night I think was like the first night that I started like kind of posting some like dog and bird pictures and squirrel pictures and stuff like that on Instagram, but I really haven't been online that much, so I don't even really know. People have sent me some drama and stuff like that, which brings me to the next part, like, what's my plan going forward? So in all honesty, when I was feeling good earlier today, I thought, oh, my plan today was just to film my Peter Watches TV video for the Sister Wives and the vlog. That was my plan. When I sat down to do my Sister Wives video, I felt so good that I was like, oh, maybe I could do a drama video too. You know how I am. I push myself, I push myself, I push myself. By halfway through the Sister Wives video, I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to vlog, because I was starting to really hurt. And it was in the back, and my back was hurting, and like my bladder and my groin were hurting again. So I was like, I don't even know that I'm gonna be able to vlog. So I took some time, and, you know, like, then I came out here and I vlogged. So my plan as of today, well, my plan yesterday really was that I wasn't gonna come back, vlog or anything until Monday. That I was just gonna take the rest of the week off. I wasn't gonna film anything on any of my channels, not even my vlog. And I was gonna put out something and say I'll see you guys back on Monday. I don't really know what Monday is gonna be like for me. I don't really know how I'm gonna feel on Monday. So I don't want to promise something I can't come through with. I mean, if Monday I feel like crap, I'm not going to want to film on all my channels. And I'm not going to film on all my channels if I feel like crap. But I also know that, like, at other times in my life when I haven't felt great, to flip a fan and make jokes has kind of cheered me up a little bit. And if I can get past the point of the physical pain to where I can flip a fan and have some fun, then that's my plan. So right now, my plan is, I'm going to vlog a little bit, probably through the weekend, and you guys will either see me a little bit, like, tomorrow's Friday, like Friday and Sunday. I'm not, unless we're just sitting around relaxing. When we go down to Brown County, I'm not planning on vlogging Saturday night. It's not just about the physical pain for me, it's that I'm exhausted dealing with this, you guys. I'm getting very little sleep. My sleep is not good. I'm really tired. I probably look like so worn out on video. I'm exhausted. I'm stressed out. Every day it's been like doctor's appointment, or, you know, and you know, when you do that, it's like, it feels like it just takes a lot out of me. Not to mention my social anxiety, like, in having to go into a hospital, going to doctor's offices, like, it just zaps me. If you have social anxiety, you'll know what I'm talking about. To be around a lot of people, just like, it zaps me. And then in a medical situation where I already have medical anxiety, and it just zaps me. It just absolutely zaps me. So I think I just need to take some days anyway. In all honesty, the easiest thing for me is just to sit in a chair and vlog. I thought I could get through like an hour and a half today, honestly, and just be like, oh, blah, 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 whatever, and then I'd be like, it'd probably be like an hour or two after that when the pain started hitting, but the pain started hitting me kind of like halfway through vlogging today, which is interesting to me because I'm vlogging pretty early. So I don't know what it's going to look like over the next couple days. I'm not going to put up, I will say this, I'm not going to put up statements every day. Don't expect me back until Monday on any of my other channels. On my vlog, my plan is to vlog Friday and Sunday. But if you don't see me there, I'll be back the next time. Does that make sense? And then Monday, I've got to figure out a way. Like, my Sister Wives video that I did, it really took it out of me today, which is maybe that's why I'm having a hard time vlogging. I don't know, because I'm just not used to vlogging. But I have to figure out a way. If I don't, I mean, okay, wish upon a star, all the gods in the world, positive vibrations, whatever you believe in the world, okay? That I pass this stone today, tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, the next day. But if I don't, by Monday, I mean, if this is going to be a 2-week thing, or I'm eventually going to have surgery, I'm not stopping vlogging, okay? It's not like I can't, like, I'm in pain, but, like, there's probably a 2-hour period throughout the day where I'm okay, and then it hits, and then there's, like, another 2-hour period. I'm going to have to figure out how to film around that. I just cannot take off, like, 3 weeks from not, I mean, I could, but I don't want to take 3 or 4 weeks off and just not film anything at all, just waiting for the inevitable surgery or the passing of the stone. I just don't want to do that. I'm bored, I feel lazy, and I just don't want to do that. So I've got to figure out a way to kind of continue to move through my life. I mean, other people that have kidney stones can't just shut down their life. So I've got to figure out a way. And so for me, I'm just going to kind of take this weekend, the next couple days, and just relax my mind, spend time with Alex, recuperate, all kind of stuff. He's actually going with his girlfriend, like, right now. I think, well, they're probably at dinner now. One of his other girlfriends to go. Well, like 5 of them are going to see her wedding dress and the venue, and then they were going to go out to dinner. So I just want to spend some time with my husband this weekend. I want to finish these audiobooks. Oh, I've been watching the hell out of Love After Lockup. Nikki and I, we cannot wait until the next episode to come out on Friday. So we went back, and she couldn't remember what season she's watching. So we started watching. It's the first one that Taylor and Chance are on. I actually watched them also on Life After Lockup. And who are the other ones? Indy and Harry are on there. I think it's season 4. I'm so into it. I could just binge watch Love After Lockup all day long. I don't know why I'm so into it this time, but I'm so into it. So I've mostly been watching that. I haven't been watching really a whole lot of anything else because I can't sit for long periods of time. I just can't get comfortable. So my plan is this weekend, I mean, I have a list of videos to film. My plan is that, and please, and I know you will be, but please just be patient with me when I come back. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know if it's going to be 20, 30-minute vlogs and a drama video one day, 20, 30-minute vlog, or an hour vlog maybe one day and nothing else the next. I don't know what it's going to look like. My hope is that I pass this SOB, you just be done with it, and we'll be back to filming 7 videos a day. That's my hope, okay? But I don't know, so my plan right now is, other than my vlog, I'm not planning, then my Sister Wives video today, I'm not filming anything the rest of this weekend. I'm going to come back to Monday with a fresh start, and hopefully, by that point, kind of have like a mental figuring out of like, okay, how am I going to do this? And I guess just kind of like, film as many videos until I can't, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? So, that's my plan. Minimum on Monday, unless I'm in extreme pain and I can't, will be my Sister Wives coverage, reaction, and my vlog. And then whatever, hopefully a drama video, booktube video. People are wanting to know, like, I haven't done I said in April I was going to announce what's happening in the True Crime Book Club. I haven't done that. I haven't done the recovery book, but I haven't finished it yet. I'm going to finish it this weekend. The James Patterson books, I almost finished those, and I have to, talk about that. So I've got a lot of videos I want to do. I'm ready to come back. I'm ready to film videos. I don't feel like I have the capacity in me to do it. It's one thing to sit and share it with you guys on a vlog what's going on. I don't know if you can tell how drained I feel. But like, to flip a fan and act funny and whatever, I just don't have it in me right now. I wish I did. I really, honest to God, I wish I did more than anybody in the world. I wish that I could just, I wish I could have that old Peter back right now, because like, I miss him so much right now. I just feel drained all the time. So that's where I'm at. I'm sure I forgot something out of the story. It's been, doctor's appointments, 2 ER visits at this point, lots of phone calls. I'm sure I forgot something. If you have any specific questions, put it in the comment section below, and if I see them, I will answer them in my next vlog about what I'm going through. But, so yeah, the plan medically right now is that I should pass this thing in the next, I don't know, he said 3 to 4 weeks, and that he wants to see me again, and I'm getting this thing done. I think he wants to see me again in, I can't remember when she set the next appointment, 2 or 3 weeks. And at that point was, I think 3 weeks, is when we'll discuss, if I haven't passed the stone. He wants to see me either way. But if I haven't passed the stone, we will discuss and set up the surgery. So please pray that I pass this stone, because I don't want the surgery. But anyway, he's felt pretty strongly that I would pass it on my own. And it's interesting because a couple people on my last vlog said, oh, when Peter said 1 to 2 days, I knew it wasn't going to be that. And I was like, hey, what? She said 1 to 2 days. Alex said 1 to 2 or 4 days. Whatever, 4 days. I was like, don't say... I'm trying not to read stuff online, okay? Because then it says months. And I'm like, oh my God, I cannot do this for months. There's no way I can't do this for months. So, but that's where I'm at. I miss you guys vlogging every day. I really have. I've sat out here and I'm like, well, I guess I could vlog. And I'm like, ugh. And I'm like, no, probably not. So I'm glad that I got to vlog today. I miss you guys like crazy. Like I said, my plan is to vlog tomorrow and Sunday and possibly Saturday. If we're just like sitting around bored, I'll just like vlog from... I was going to make all these videos at like their cabin and stuff, but I don't know that I'm going to do that. I just want to relax and spend time with friends and them, as much as I can. I'm not gonna not go. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna like miss out on not, because Alex was like, do you want to cancel? And I said, no. I said, babe, he was like, it's fine. We can stay home and do it another week. And I was like, no, I'm not. It's 24 hours. What am I gonna do? Sit here? What's she gonna do? Sit here on this front porch and talk on the phone? I can sit in a cabin just as much as I can. He's like, well, because there's not like, we're not gonna like hike and stuff like that. I'm like, and if they do, they can go do that, and I can, you know, I don't know, sit and watch a TV in their beautiful new cabin. I mean, I just want to, like, you know what I mean? So I'm going, and I can't wait, and I'm ready to get a fountain Sprite, because that's all I can have, on the way down there, and the three of us are driving together, so that'll be fun. That's Saturday. God, I hope I pass this thing by then, but I'm just taking it day by day, and I miss you guys, and, yeah, I'm gonna get off here now. I'm gonna get off here now. But just be patient with me as far as the coming back. Like I said, if you don't see anything from me until Monday, don't worry about me. If you have to worry about me, I will like put up a statement, or I'll have Alex put up something, but there's nothing to be worried about with me. I'm just passing a kidney stone like a million other people have done. And it's painful, yes, but a million other people have gone through 10 times worse pain. So, I'll get through it. You know, I just got to figure out how can I like film around, you know, it's like you don't really necessarily want a camera on you and be talking about something when, you know, you're supposed to be like, haha, funny, and reviewing something when you're not feeling great, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to figure out what are the best times for me to do that. And it just might just depend on the day. I might just have to be like, these are the videos I'm going to make today. And when I'm like, okay, I feel good right now, then film at that moment. And if I don't feel good for a day, just not filming for that day until this whole ordeal is over. Whether that's surgery or passing the stone. But I think we know which one I hope it for. Let's put it all on passing the stone. I'm so over this. I'm so over it. I mean, it's laughable at this point. Anyway, I miss you guys so much. I'm going to get off here now. I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Thursday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys. I miss saying that. I miss saying that. And I do love you guys so much. And thank you guys so much for the love and support. And I will see you tomorrow. Well, I don't know. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you.